today I am talking about my favourite pregnancy apps. Pregnancy apps are probably one of the first things that you do when you find out you're pregnant. So you do your peeing on the stick, you tell whoever you want to tell, and then for me personally, I was straight on to downloading apps. I just really wanted to get fully involved in my pregnancy and see what things looked like find a bit more background about where my baby was at that point in the cycle, and apps really help to do that. They give you information about what you should be doing and what you should be expecting. So I've managed to whittle mine down to just a few apps. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apps that are all quite different to each other. I did download pretty much every single app that was on iTunes or in the App Store. I think that's more where it is. Yeah, in the App Store on Apple. And then I've just whittled it down over my pregnancy to ones that I don't use and just taking them out. Some of them could be quite samey. So yeah, basically that is the moral of the video. So here is my phone and all of my apps. All of my baby apps are kept in this folder, if you're gonna focus, which is quite fittingly called baby. So my most frequently used app, I would say, is this one here, which is Ask the Midwife. So this is essentially like a text service to speak directly to a midwife. It's so handy, it's unbelievable. So there are always questions that I find that I have that are not urgent enough to phone the labour ward, but I need an answer then and there because it can't wait for my next midwife appointment. So with this app, you ask a question and then you get the answer within 4 hours from a registered midwife, and it's so lovely. It's such a personal app and it's such personal service because you put in your own information, which I think is in here somewhere. So yeah, put in your own information, put in your due date, your height and your weight and stuff. You all know my weight now, which is great. That is my pregnancy weight. Thank you very much. So you put in your due date and stuff so it then knows how far gone you are. And then you ask questions. So questions that I've asked are things like, let's have a look. Can Braxton Hicks be uncomfortable or painful? So on this particular day, I was pretty sure I was having Braxton Hicks, but when I googled it, the NHS website says that they're not painful. So I was then worried as to why I was having a cramping, tightening sensation across my belly, because it did sound like Braxton Hicks and the fact that it was tightening, but it also was definitely not comfortable. So it made me worry as to why I was in pain. So managed to speak to Hannah, who's part of the Ask the Midwife service, and got an answer back. I think this came within 2 hours or something. So yeah, I basically said, can Braxton Hicks be uncomfortable or painful? I feel a tightening across the middle and upper section of my belly that feels partly like I've pulled a muscle, partly crampy. Could this be it? Normally comes after I've done something like cleaning. And then Hannah's response was, hi Georgina, thanks for using Ask the Midwife service. I'm Hannah, registered midwife, and congratulations on your pregnancy. Thanks, Hannah. Braxton Hicks can feel uncomfortable and cramp-like, especially as you get closer to your due date. So that's answering exactly what was going on and giving me reassurance. And also says that it can be brought on by exercise and exertion. So feeling uncomfortable after cleaning suggests that it probably is Braxton Hicks. Remember that you're growing and carrying a 33-week-old baby now, so your body will get tired more easily and you may find that you ache after certain activities. And then it just basically gives some information saying, if you feel pain underneath the right hand side, I don't know if the camera's focused, if it isn't then I'm so sorry. If you feel pain underneath your rib cage that is persistent, then you should go to on the right hand side, then you should go to the maternity unit. So yeah, so it gave me exactly the information that I wanted and gave me some real reassurance, because otherwise I would have been a bit stressed as to why I was feeling cramps and stuff, and probably questioning if I was in labour or not. But there's loads of other questions that I've asked, but I can't think of any right now. But it will just be stuff like, what do you recommend that I pack in my hospital bag? Is it normal? Oh, I've asked is it normal that your rib cage aches? It doesn't ache from one side, it aches all across my rib cage. One day when I had reduced movements, I asked for some advice on that before I phoned the labour ward. What else? Yeah, because with reduced movements as well, like, there's loads of mixed opinions and stuff on what you should and shouldn't feel. And it basically just offers a lot of advice, like pretty much then and there. Like the responses are normally within 4 hours. I remember saying to Rich that the NHS should have a text the midwife service, and it is essentially just that. It's so handy because there are so many questions where like it's not worth phoning the labour ward for because it's just something silly like, are Braxton Hicks meant to hurt? But I also can't wait the 2 weeks for my midwife appointment. So I remember saying to Rich that the NHS should have a text the midwife service and fund that, but this is literally the exact same. So what you do is when you download it, you get a free question. So say you were stressed about something, it's always worth keeping that on a back burner just so you have it and you can always just kind of ask that question. It's like a genie wish. Or after that, any question is $1.99, which I think is totally worth it. I've subscribed to it this month because I felt that it was worth it. Like in the 3rd trimester, I've been pretty anxious and using it quite frequently. And when you subscribe, you just get unlimited questions, and you can use the chat service, which is super handy too because you can just kind of have a full-on conversation about something. But yeah, so that's basically that. I am obsessed with it. Like I literally use it probably every 3 or 4 days. So yeah, it's definitely worth me being part of the subscription service. But just download it anyway and keep your free question on the back burner, and I can guarantee you'll be addicted pretty soon just to asking like the odd question here and there. And what I also really like about it is that you can use it once baby is here, so you could ask certain questions then, say you're not sure. And since having this app, I've worried so much less because I've stopped Googling things, and will just ask the midwife straight away and get an NHS legit answer. So yeah, that is one of my faves. I would say that my second most used favourite app is Sprout Pregnancy, which I absolutely love and have loved since week 5 of my pregnancy. So this is my little bub right now, but I just find it really interesting to see like the growth of him. So it gives you like a comparison of what size they should be, so cantaloupe, and then it gives you like normally a little bit of information about what they're doing this week, like what's developing. So it says your baby can now open and close his eyes. Research shows using fibre optic scopes that pupils also constrict when exposed to bright lights. But yeah, so it works like that every single week, and my stepdaughter, Richard's daughter, really likes it too because it's really visual for her. So you can see like when we first told her I was pregnant in week 10 and he looked a bit like this, like it still looks like a baby, so it's not completely freaky, but you can just see the development as it comes on. And then she also finds it easier like to count up the rest of my pregnancy as well. But every time I see her, she references this app, and I just find it really handy just to see the changes. And I've just flipped him. Yeah, and I don't think there's that much like that either. Like it's just really interactive and really interesting. So that is another one of my favourites. I really like Ovia Pregnancy, but I must admit that I found Ovia Fertility like amazing. So I don't like it as much as Ovia Fertility, but it is a good pregnancy app. So there is my baby scan. I really like the hand thing, like the fact that you can see how big baby's hand is, like compared to the screen, and how big it's going to grow to, like compared to the outline. I really like its weird and wonderful theme, but I'm not quite sure how my baby is the size of a basketball hoop, but I think it just means the length of him. And then it has like these videos from this woman here. They're always quite informative. But the thing that I find most handy on this app is it's got a food safety lookup, which especially in my first trimester, like when I was trying to get used to what I can and can't eat, that I found really handy just to kind of find like a certain food, say I fancied it, and I'd go for it. But it's quite American. I think they have like different regulations on what they can and can't eat. Like they're quite pro seafood, and I don't know if we are pro seafood or against it, but I've just avoided it altogether. And I really like, it's got medication lookup, and then it's got symptom lookup too, which I used so much in my first trimester. So yeah, so stuff like mood swings, obviously they're completely normal. But, oh, hiccups. Yeah, obviously they're completely normal, but it just tells you like things that are and aren't normal, like vivid dreams, stretch marks, snoring, pelvic girdle pain. Yeah, so that I will have found quite handy. My next favourite is Kicks Count. When I'm having a moment, which is quite frequent at the moment since the 3rd trimester, and have to have a drink and lie down on my left hand side and count the kicks, this I just find really handy just to have next to me and just count them. I don't use it like regularly because like I don't count his kicks all the time, but if I notice that they've slowed down, like, or I've noticed there's a change in them, then I will sit down and take some time out to count what's going on. But I have like a rough idea of what's normal. Like you're meant to be able to count 10 per 2 hours, but this baby like could be quiet for 2 hours and then he could be really active and have like 30 movements for 2 hours. So I do know that, so I'll just use this to keep a reference, like just so I don't lose count basically. And then another one that I really like is Pregnancy Plus, but the only thing that I actually like about this app is this part, which is the baby images, and it shows you like how your baby looks right now, how he would look in a 3D scan, and how we would look in a 2D scan, and that's the only thing that I reference each week for that app, just because I find that really interesting, and it's kind of the only feature that it offers that other apps don't offer. And then what else do I use here? What to expect. I check up on, just to check up on the fruit or vegetable that my baby is. Because the thing with Sprout is it never really adds up to what everything else does. So at the moment it's saying my baby's the size of a pineapple, like on everything else that I use, but Sprout says it's a cantaloupe, so I normally take that on with a pinch of salt and then go by what to expect when you're expecting. And then I use NetMum's chat. So yeah, those are my favourite apps. Yeah, I think I've managed to get them down to quite a nice little selection, because like I said, I had so much on there first and just wasn't checking most of them, but yeah, those are kind of the ones that offer like something a little bit different to everything else that's on the market. I will link them all down below. I think apart from Pregnancy Plus, they're all free apps too, and Pregnancy Plus, like if I'm being completely honest, probably isn't worth paying for. The only reason that I did pay for it is because the photos of the baby, so Pregnancy Plus is this one where there's the little scan pictures, it only does the first trimester unless you pay for it, and I think it was like 79p, so like it's 79p, it's not a big deal, but I probably wouldn't choose to pay for it again after I've just hyped it up. So yeah, but apart from that, they're all free pregnancy apps. If I'm incorrect, then I'll write something somewhere to say that I'm a liar, but I'm pretty sure they're all free because I didn't really pay that much. I'm just babbling on now. So yeah, so if you have any apps that you really like that I haven't mentioned, or websites actually, or what else is there? Anything that's helped you throughout your pregnancy, then link it down below in the comments section. I can't even get my words out today. Pop it in the comments section and that'll be really interesting. So I'm 34 weeks pregnant at the moment and I need something to get me through the next 6 weeks because I'm so impatient, and at the moment I'm a real anxious little mess, and I don't even know why. I keep having really odd dreams that have scared me a little bit. So yeah, anyway, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It literally makes my day. The next video is going to be our 4D scan experience, which I'm so excited to film because it was honestly one of the most amazing experiences of my life, and seeing our little boy this late on in pregnancy was beautiful. So that's going to be the next video, just to give you a teaser. So yeah, subscribe. And I will see you in that next video. Yeah, see you later.